So we are back here with another video, man, and we have a ton to talk about here today. So we're going to start out with something in-game related, and that is the new super packs, man. Not really a whole lot to talk about. The odds are exactly the same. All the packs and prior promos are available, as well as all of the wild gem cards, man. Do I recommend opening them? No, I think they're too expensive for what you're getting. But might as well mention them because they are technically new content, right? But excuse me. Anyhow, we're going to talk about more about this whole JC2K situation. And a lot of this comes from, I just watched CARLO reacting to DBG reacting to, no, sorry, it was CARLO reacting to JC2K reacting to DBG, who was reacting to JC2K's original video. So that was a mouthful there, sorry. So I guess that you could say that now I am reacting to CARLO reacting to JC2K reacting to DBG reacting to JC2K's original video. So that is what we are doing today. But anyway, man, before we do get into it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as leave a like on the video. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, man. So I agree mostly in the sense now JC2K and DBG are kind of on the same side of the argument, right? Which the big overlying argument here is everybody would take this offer that JC2K got from Flare AI, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I completely agree with that. But there is also some kind of takes that DBG throws in that I don't agree with. There's some stuff that CARLO throws in that I don't agree with. There's also some stuff from both of them that I do agree with. And then I agree pretty much completely with what everything that JC2K said in the video, man. So a lot of the issues with people complaining, and this is a point that JC brought up that I completely agree with, is people do not understand how marketing works, man. People don't get it at all. People don't understand the value of a dollar. People also don't understand, how much money this is to this given company. And we actually found out that the guy, Scott, I think was his name, that gave JC2K the account, the money for the account, JC2K said in this video that the money for the account is not even coming out of his pocket. It's coming out of Flare AI's marketing budget. So what that means is that this money is an even smaller drop in the bucket than we originally thought when we talked about it in the last video. So if we're talking about this guy owns multiple companies, and he said that, this Flare AI or whatever is worth in excess of $1 billion. Like, I don't know if this guy himself is a billionaire. He's obviously very well off. But the point that we made last video is that $10,000 to someone who's got $1 billion is the equivalent of $1 to someone who's got 100,000. So first of all, if he's spending $10,000 on this account, which I think is an accurate estimate for maybe through like the end of this month, there will be like $10,000 spent on this account, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And eventually we'll get to that mark anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it is less than that. So he's basically getting free advertising for his company. And a lot of people are talking about like, oh, nobody is going to click on this. Like no one is going to blah, 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 blah. This is a thing. So Flare AI, what Flare AI is they are a banking. They're just some kind of AI thing for banking. So a very, very small target market, obviously. But let me explain to you why this is still a good business move. And people were trying to tell me that, oh, this is a horrible business move. Why would they do this? You're going to tell me that you're smarter than this the guy that, like, with all of his companies put together are bringing in multiple billions of dollars. Like, no. You have no idea what you're talking about. So let me tell you guys why this is good. So I'm going to try to give some kind of simpler examples to help you guys understand. So say that, $10,000 is giving the account to JC, whatever. The company is getting so much exposure right now. And not a lot of people are going to engage with Flare AI or even investigate. But even if 1 in 1,000 people does, and they go and they like the services that Flare AI provides, they're going to go and tell the next person, who is going to go and tell the next person, who is then going to go and tell another person. It is basic word of mouth advertising. Word of mouth advertising is arguably the most effective form of advertising. And people are saying, "Oh, this is the wrong, they're going after the wrong group." Well, if this guy's this huge, multi-business owner, whatever, I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure there is a lot of other very, very successful business owners and whatever else that are this guy is not alone, obviously. He's just the only one that we know about. And if you look at Myteam as a game, you look at the auction house, which is basically, especially this year with cards holding their value and stuff, and the market being really interesting this year with kind of that whole thing. If you are someone who is in that position where you're super successful, business owner, whatever, and you like the NBA, basketball is your favorite sport, you watch basketball, this is what you're going to play, is Myteam. Because these people that are super successful like this, they day trade on the stock market. They do things like that. So a game like this with the auction house and everything with its own market is going to be a blast for somebody like that. They're going to love playing that on a Saturday when they can leave all of their big guru company stuff behind, in the week prior and whatever else. So there is a little bit of a target market. And for the small little, it's not even a drop in the bucket. It's like a microscopic little drip of that comes out of like the point of a needle type of drop in the bucket is what $10,000 is to a marketing budget for someone who has multiple, billion-dollar companies or whatever the case may be. Like this is nothing. Like a TV ad, if you're running a TV ad, you can be paying like almost $1 per viewer, which you guys might not think that that's a lot. That is, 250,000 people watch it. That's 250,000 bucks. And this is going to be way, less than $1 per viewer because people are going to be talking about Flare AI all year because of this. And if one of the other, this is kind of more of a thing for the target market that he's going after is people like him, right? That are pretty successful, that are playing this game as well. And like I said, if one person goes and tries it and likes it, then they are going to tell the next person. Word of mouth advertising. And then also some of these kids that are watching these videos, or even just some people in general, they are going to, people that confide closely with like some friends or parents, maybe even your kids, you're going to talk to them about it because you're interested in Myteam. If you have those people in your life that you confide in, that you talk about everything regarding your day, then they're going to talk to them about that as well. And then they might go and talk to somebody else about it. And there's all of these people talking about Flare AI. And now soon enough, you have people that didn't even watch JC's video or don't even play Myteam that are talking about Flare AI. And another thing that I should mention with this is, think about it like this, right? So you have a car dealership, and right across the street is a McDonald's. Say that Flare AI is the car dealership. If the car dealership even makes one sale that day, that's a successful day. And then if you go over across the street to McDonald's, they might sell 1,000 hamburgers that day. I don't know what the exact number would be, but I'm just trying to give an example here. There is a chance that that one car sale is better for the dealership than the 1,000 hamburgers is for McDonald's across the street. And that gets into the whole target market thing. That gets into the whole, if JC2K was getting this account sponsored by Coca-Cola, yeah, maybe it'd get more engagement. The target market's bigger, but one sale for Flare AI means way more than one sale to Coca-Cola or McDonald's. So that's my marketing lesson for the day. We're going to talk about some more things regarding this later in the video as well. But let's see here. This is one point that Carlo brought up that I did kind of resonate with. Now, there's a comparison being made to, why is he using this account that obviously has spent all this money while he actively, doesn't promote packs, whatever the case may be. I think that all JC, and I might be wrong on this, but I don't think I am. All that JC2K ever says is that he doesn't promote packs and that he doesn't recommend opening up packs. But if you go across the way to DBG is kind of like, it's a little bit more intense. He's kind of like, packs are the devil, blah, 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 blah. Like, he is the biggest gambling, anything with chance hater that I've ever seen. Well, not that I've ever seen, because I do know a couple people in my real life that are like that as well. But I don't think that JC is someone who is as against, like, he's not like a packs or the devil type person. He just says he doesn't recommend opening them. And I do not think that this whole sponsorship promotes pack sales. That's like saying that if someone puts a Pink Diamond Dr. J in their thumbnail, or even does a Pink Diamond Dr. J gameplay, that is promoting pack sales. Like, why is JC using this team? How does that promote pack sales? I don't understand that. DBG goes on in this video to say that gambling sites are 100 times less ethical than Flare AI. And this is, I'm going to try and go kind of deep on this. So I've heard, and I'm going to get back into this conversation. I don't care if this stirs anything up, because this is something that was, I'm going to go back to a point that I made in a video last summer when I was talking about comparing, and these things need to be compared, okay? They really do in my mind. When there was comparisons being made to weed addiction versus alcohol addiction versus gambling addiction. And the reason that I compare all three of these things all the time is because I have been heavily addicted to both, to the point where my life was significantly altered by all three of these things, and gambling addiction had the least consequences out of these three things, okay? So that is why I compare these three things. I know that all three of them are bad. I know that addiction in general is bad. But he talks about how unethical advertising gambling is. Not even just gambling, but advertising gambling. How unethical it is. And he is someone that is openly talked about, and this was a long time ago, but this is something that he has talked about, going out and partying and getting, really drunk and drinking. It was like he was talking about it with Unbeatable Jacob and some other people. And then with that being said, I'm going to talk about alcohol ads. Alcohol and gambling. If you go and watch an American sports game, I don't know how it is in Ireland, because I've never watched Ireland television or English television or whatever television they're getting over there. But if you watch an American sports game, gambling ads and alcohol ads are very prevalent. Could you say that they are unethical? Yes. But it is an opinion. It is an opinion if an ad on something like that is unethical. And it is just, I don't know, man. I don't know how, because to me, gambling, right, it affects your mental health so much. It does, if you get addicted to it. But you can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to McDonald's, which we just mentioned earlier, and it's going to greatly, greatly affect your mental health as well as your physical health. And that honestly, makes my point even stronger. Alcohol, weed, they affect your physical health so greatly as well as your mental health. Gambling only affects your mental health. So I just don't understand why he thinks that. Basically, the bottom line is I don't understand why he thinks that gambling is like the most unethical and worst thing that you could ever be addicted to. Because it's not. It doesn't affect your physical health at all. And some addictions can kill you physically. Most of them can. So I don't. I just had to go on off on that rant because I don't know. And what's wrong with advertising gambling or even advertising alcohol? God, I don't care. If you're getting paid to do it, man. I watch a football podcast where they advertise nicotine pouches. Just, read the warnings. Say, 21 and older only, do this responsibly, don't take up this habit if, whatever. Read the warnings and then advertise. If you're getting paid, I would do it. I just don't get it. Yeah, this is a point too. People hating on when people have good cards. Like, it's just straight jealousy. And we needed to get into this point too. Carlo tried to act like in this video that his prior video didn't come from straight jealousy and that he wouldn't take this deal if given the opportunity. Like, come on, man. Obviously you would. And obviously you can easily tell by his tone of voice in his original video about this topic and just by some of the things. He doesn't directly come out and say he wishes he had this team or he's jealous, obviously. But you can tell by the way he's coming off in the entire video that he is extremely jealous. And it's the same thing with people that are going off on rants about how unobtainable every card is and just kind of hating on JC and trying to say that this is hypocritical, whatever, trying to make any excuse to hate on him for it. It's all out of jealousy, bro. Like it 1000% is, and I don't get it. To me, it's very, very childish. That would be like if you're at the park as a little kid and some little kid gets out of the car to play on the swing set with you and he's got a big sucker, a sucker that, of course you want. You don't have any candy. Like, you're a little kid, you want the sucker. And then you just burst into tears because you don't have the sucker. It's the same thing with Pink Diamond Dr. J. Of course, a lot of these grown men, they aren't bursting into tears, but they're sure crying a lot about it. Like, who cares? Who cares if people have better cards? What was I trying to get at with this one? This one's in my notes. I don't know. We might have to come back to that one. Carlo's making this whole big deal about 46 days being spent on this Xbox account that was given to him and trying to make it seem like it's like this some scammy fishy thing that like JC's lying to us about this whole situation, whatever. I don't know how Xbox works. I don't even know how PlayStation works because there's people saying different things. There's people saying that you can be in the menus like I am right now and inactive and it still counts towards your hours played. And there are people saying that it does not. And I'm sure that there's a good chance that it could be different from Xbox versus PlayStation. So I don't really know anything about this, but like if you could be AFK and it counts on Xbox, whatever. But truthfully, why in the hell does that matter? Like, he's making the biggest deal about that, and I just don't understand why. Like, that is like so irrelevant to me. People are continuing to say in a lot of the comment sections that domination is the most rewarding game mode. No, not even close, bro. What was I trying to get with this one? Oh, I know what I was trying to say. So JC2K said something interesting when he was talking about all the hate he was getting and everything. He said, I want people to like me, which I totally get. And I think he comes off as a likable dude. I think JC's pretty cool. I think he makes the best points in this whole thing. He makes better points than DBG and CARLO, whatever. And I don't think he's wrong for doing what he's doing. But anyway, he said that, and I kind of thought to myself, do I care if people like me? Something that I don't really think about often. So with that being said, with me not thinking about it often, I kind of thought to myself, I don't really care if people like me, but what I do care about is getting the right information out there and helping people out that with this game and just with everything in general. Hopefully bring some enjoyment to people, hopefully bring, some advice about this game, and even with these situations that helps you guys understand how to be successful in the real world. And so I don't really care if people like me, but I guess I do care if people like my content. And I also care if I just want to have a positive effect on as many people's day as possible. I guess is probably the best way to put it, to be honest with you. So I kind of thought about that a little bit. I thought I'd mention that. So yeah. Oh, let's talk about this last thing here quick too with the market. Everyone's confused about why wild gems and other various cards are going up in value. You want to know why cards are going up in value? Because the supply is either staying the same or going down. And because when people have all this MT from playing the game, that's one reason why cards are going up in value, because people are making so much MT playing this game. The amount of MT that people have no money spent this year from just grinding the game is absolutely absurd. And people are trying to tell me that this game isn't rewarding. That's complete. I mean, this is the most rewarding my team of all time, if we're talking about the MT that you're getting. So what happens with a lot of these sets is they get locked in, right? So then a lot of the value on these cards goes up. So basically what I think I need to just say though is there is no cards in the game where the value is going down. And that is a lot of where people lost MT in prior years. They would keep a card for too long, they would sell it and lose a lot of the MT that they spent on that card. That is not happening this year. And there's really not that many people opening up packs with MT either. So what is happening is you are getting more MT than ever playing the game. You're getting a lot of MT back from opening up packs, maybe more than we've ever seen, which again goes back to the value of the cards. And then also no cards are going down in value. So if you're changing out your team and stuff, you are either kind of remaining about even or maybe even gaining MT because cards are going up in value. Whereas in the past, if you changed out your team and stuff, you'd be losing a significant amount of MT. So all the MT in circulation, no one's losing any MT unless they're opening up MT packs. So that's why cards are getting more expensive. So that was kind of a little bit of a business lesson there for maybe like an economics lesson, I guess you could say too. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed class today, man. That's kind of what it felt like. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got lots of great content coming soon, man. We're going to keep talking about all this because I want people to know the truth. Spread the truth, man, and be the Myteam mediator. That's kind of my goal. Also, leave a like on the video before we head on out of here. And please subscribe, man. We're almost 2,000. I'd like to do that soon. So that'd be a major W if you subscribed. But with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.